So then sales department has to contact to the inventory department, again they have to check to the production planning department. So previously what happened, it may take 2 to 3 days. So in that case, in that scenario, client will move to another organization and they procure product from that organization. So that was the major problem with the decentralization process, loss of revenue and customer dissatisfaction. Customer was not satisfied in that case. Same is this case, and the labor cost also increases. Just I told you that redundant data is stored, so labor costs will also increase. So these are some of the major problems with the decentralized system. We have numerous information system created individually over time which are difficult to maintain. Integrating the data is time and time consuming. So once in a year all the departments sit together and they just consolidate all the data to prepare the balance sheet or profit loss statement. So at that time integration of data was very time consuming and the resources were also getting waste and there was inconsistency and duplication of data, right? So these are some of the major drawbacks that was faced by the decentralized system. Now comes in the picture centralized system. Now we will understand what is the centralized system, what is the beauty of centralized system, and how it helps to overcome the drawbacks of the decentralized system. So in a company with a centralized system of information and data management, data is maintained at a central location and that is being shared by other departments, means other small units, business units, that is being shared by other small units. So departments have access to information or data from other departments. Means suppose A department has to contact to the D department. So the chain was previously like A to B, B to C, and C to D. So that was the communication process previously. But with the
I have
centralized
question,
system,
please.
yes, yes,
Yes, I want to know if you are in the HR department, you can see the information of the finance department. You
yes.
you said department have access to information or data from other departments. I want to know if
Hmm.
I am in human resource department, I can see the information or data from the finance department.
You just want to know how you can gather the data from one department to another department, right?
I don't ask how I can know. I want to know if it is possible to see the information from another department, from other department.
Yes, yes. See, what happened previously in the decentralized system, what happened is that suppose any person in the human resource department, if they want to see the data of the sales department, so anyone has to go there first. They have to seek permission from the owner that whether he is accessible to check the data or not. So that way it was a very big process, but with the centralized system any department can see the data of the other department. That is the first thing. But now SAP has its beauty itself. Some of the data which is not affecting anyone, that can be viewed by anyone. Just like if you are talking about the inventory, means the stock status. Suppose I am having 100 and day to day it got changed. Suppose next it's 120, another day it's 250. So that is visible to all the department. But if there is any confidential data related to that department, so that would not be visible to other departments. But again, if other department want to access those data, so they must have permissions or credentials to access those data. So what's the beauty of this centralized system? It can access the data, it can even access the confidential data of the other department if they are having the rights, if they are having the permissions. So who will provide the permission? The owner will provide the permissions based on the business scenario. If there is any scenario, suppose owner is out of the company most of the time, so they have delegated one person, they can overlook all the tasks of the all the department. So owner has provided the permission to that person, so he can check the data, he can access the data of all other departments, but not a simple or regular guy can access the data of all the departments if there is any confidential data. So what happened with the centralized system? The revenue is increased and customer get delighted. Means now the customer is happy. In this case, whenever the customer click on the sales department, now sales department need not to wait for 2 to 3 days to get a feedback from the inventory department or the production planning department or the manufacturing unit. He can sales department can simply go click on the ERP system and he can access the data. He can check the status of the inventory. He can check the status of the production planning. And based on the response he get from this centralized system ERP, he responded quickly within a within a means wait of 5 seconds, the sales department can quickly respond back to the client that yes, we are having the product, we can deliver it to you as soon as possible as you require. So even if a customer call you over the night at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock that I just need 500 units of your product, then sales department can simply click on the centralized system, get the details, and simply generate an invoice and deliver the quantity. So over the night this process happened because of centralized system. And previously sales department say that this is the time for sleep, just let me sleep and you also sleep. So in
Well,
this case, so yes.
can you come back before this page? I see
Yes,
vendor.
yes.
I want to know what is vendor. Yes.
See, vendor, you can relate it to the transportation part. There are different meanings of these vendors. Suppose here in this picture, vendor relates to the raw material supplier. In any unit, whenever you manufacturing something, we have to purchase raw material for that. So that raw material has been provided by the vendor. Suppose I am having a
Okay.
bulk order of I have to produce 10,000 unit, but I don't have the raw material. So within a click, sales department can directly contact to the vendor that we have to procure 10,000 unit as soon as possible as I have to deliver the product.
Okay, I understand.
In this case, all departments when we connect to the centralized system. So if you just read one by one, we just have a real time information. What we understand from the real time information is that let us suppose an example, sales department has generated an invoice for 100 units. So that means suppose my current stock is 500 units, so that will come down to 400 units, right? Because sales department has sold 100 units. Now if we talk about the inventory department, it will previously it was taking 1 to 2 days to update that quantity in the stock. So now with the centralized system, whenever on a single click, whenever the sales department decreases the stock from 500 to 400, thus at the same time inventory department can also check that now yes, the quantity has been decreased from 500 to 400. So that is the meaning of real time information. Means if at 12 o'clock in the night somebody has updated or increased or decreased the quantity, it will reflect it in all the departments at the same time. That is the real time information access. And we have increased revenue and customer delight any day. If we are providing a quick service, definitely customer will be happy and definitely revenue will be increased. And production planning, this is the important department. Production planning department is a very important department in any organization, and it's a neglected department in even in SAP ABAP itself. In technical part also ever means it's a very neglected department, but that is a very important department. Production planning department, that is auto updated. Means I just in the previous example, if you can relate it to that, production planning department can easily understand on a single click that whether my inventory got increased or decreased, and they can predict the future, they can predict the production planning, and they can prepare the planning accordingly, and the duplication of data is avoided and accurate data is made available. And similar way labor cost also goes down. And the best part for a organization or any enterprises, everything at the end of the day comes on the revenue part. So whenever a sales department generated an invoice and sales 100 units, at the same time finance department got an update that we have to collect the revenue from that client, so the payments are made on time and there will be a no issue of the legal action. So these are the key benefits of centralized system. Just look over the and let me know if you are facing any issue in the key benefits, if you are not getting any point in that. It eliminates the duplication, redundancy in data, provide information across department in real time. That is important in real time. Eliminates the duplication. It provides better control over all the business processes. Productivity will increase. Inventory management process will be better. It promotes quality, reduce material cost, effective HR management, reduce overheads, boost profit, better customer interaction, a centralized system. Okay, so I'll move further.
Okay, it is okay.
Yeah. So this is the sheet what I have prepared. So again, now I'll make you understand what is ERP. If I'll explain in the starting what is SAP, what is ERP, you may or may not understand, because I just don't know. I just make you understand from the scratch. I am believing that you know nothing about SAP, and I will prepare brick by brick, day by day. I'll just make your understanding better. I'll try that. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
ERP, yeah. So ERP, that is, this is a software. Previous to that, we just talk about the manufacturing units. For an explanation, I just restrict you to make understand that is applicable only to the manufacturing, but that is not the case. ERP can be implemented by any department or any organization that is having more than two or more department. If you are having single department, there is not an any use of the SAP ERP. If there is a small shop in your town, what's the use of implementing ERP? He is the owner and he know all the details, right? So in the
Yes.
shop owner need not to implement SAP ERP system because there is no use of SAP ERP. SAP ERP is effective when you are having two or more than two departments that you have to correlate. You have to communicate between those departments on a real time basis. So these are the broader things which the ERP package is provided. It is ERP packages designed to support and integrate almost every functional area of the business processes, such as procurement of goods and services, sales and distribution, finance, accountings, human resource, manufacturing, production planning, logistic, warehouse management, and many more. Not till here, day by day SAP is growing, and day by day, based on the need, SAP is generating new models. So this is a planning and execution. What's the process? Distribution, marketing, finance, sales, HR, engineering, material manufacturing, all are correlated. When all will function well, then only this vehicle will move. If there is any issue in any of the department related to data or related to any other issue, this circle will stop, and your car will stop or your engine will stop. So this to make this circle move, to make this tire move, all department has to communicate in a better way. So regardless of the industry, just I told you, anyone can implement this SAP software. So what's the advantage? Business process integration. Now these are the terms which you may understand, which you have to understand actually. So now it may be clear to you that what is business process integration. It allows automation of business processes, integration of system and services, secure sharing of data across numerous applications, automation of management, operational and supporting processes. Now I just explain you how ERP is evolved. So what happened, SAP has provided R2 and R3 system. I'll come to that one later on. First, I'll explain you what ERP performs the following functions. What are the
Okay.
functions in a nutshell provided by an ERP system? It supports the integrated business processes, improves planning, and helps in execution. It quickly helps in decision making process. Suppose an owner is present in the factory and he is having 10 departments under him and he has to make some decision. So previously in a decentralized system, he has to call the heads of all the department and in a conference room, and these 10 heads along with the owner, they will sit, they provide their inputs, and based on the inputs, owner has to take decisions in front of the next person. But with the centralized system, there is no need to call these 10 department heads. Owner can directly access the information of all the 10 departments in a single click. See, so in this way, they can identify what are the operational risks. It provides protection against organization data. It makes the organization adaptable to the changes that he has to make in the business processes. So ultimately, it gives a long-term profit and it will increase the customer base. So this is the ERP model. Suppose let us assume that owner is sitting in the middle. So now in
Yeah.
the middle, if owner is sitting, he can access production in a single click, in a single click HR, in a single click planning, in a single click inventory, in a single click reporting, CRM, sales and marketing, in a similar way, finance and accounting. So it will save time of all the department heads, and it will also save the times of the owner. And apart from the saving of the time, it also helps in making a quick decision. So these are the broader areas in which ERP, when it started, it start working on that. Whenever when SAP launches an ERP system, so these are the broader units were there at present at that time, broader units. Later on, based on the requirement, SAP has disintegrated these units into other smaller units also. So these are the financial accounting that deals with the financial transaction. Another one broader, that module was human resource, that deals with related to the employee, that what's the position, what's the status of the employee, when he'll join, when he on leave. Again, customer relationship management, sales and distribution, logistics, warehouse management, manufacturing, material management, supply change management, business intelligence. So these are the broader modules on which SAP ERP has implemented. So what is the advantage? Again, this is the sheet I have prepared. Again and again, I'm writing the same thing to make you understand. I just don't
Mm.
want that I'm explaining and I'm scrolling down and you just forgot. This is for your mesmerizing again and again. So what's the advantages? We can simply say it saves time. It allows faster decision making, single data source, sharing of data, tracking each and every transaction, supplies real time information, synchronized information. So these are some of the advantages. Now tell me, if you understand ERP, we are having some advantages. Do you think is there any disadvantages? Do you think is there any disadvantages of ERP? You understand
Yes,
ERP, right? Till now,
yes, yes,
you
yes,
have.
yes. Understand. I see
Ye-
advantages of EFP. Now I want to see disadvantages because when I speak with the person who use the EFP, they said it is more expensive.
Right, you are absolutely right.